Welcome to this Mantra Breathe, and the subject today is how can we achieve bliss in our life and maintain it, and Sandra will be giving a lecture on that. So I'm going to turn it over to her. Take it away, Sandra Ray.
I acknowledge you all for going for it. You know, Babaji always tells me that mantra breathing can take you to the new dimension and to a new frequency. If you keep doing it, things will not be able to stick in your body. You maintain this high frequency. So I wrote down some notes on how to have a blissful life, because the reason I picked this topic is I'm working on a new training right now called Happiness and Longevity. And it's really makes me happy to work on this training. So I thought I would share with you this one little section I wrote, my notes on how to have a blissful life. And again, you don't have to take notes because it will be on the YouTube. Okay, I put number 1, surrender to the dream team. For those of you that are new, the dream team is our group of spiritual masters that we work with. And that starts with Babaji, who is the founder before Leonard of rebirthing, and Marcus explained that. And he's a Maha Avatar, which means he was not born of a woman, and he can dematerialize and rematerialize his body. So you can't get any higher than that. So he's our master, and Jesus of the Course in Miracles, of course, and the Divine Mother. And we relate to those three as the dream team. And it makes such a difference to have a master in your life. I mean, it's like night and day. So for me, there's only before Babaji and after Babaji, everything shifted to another dimension. So I recommend you make an altar to the dream team. Then number 2, liberation breathing sessions. We are doing mantra breathing today, which is for groups, but liberation breathing sessions is when you have private sessions. So anytime you're anxious or upset or you need help, you can have a private liberation breathing session. These are spiritual practices that we use to stay in bliss. Some of you are already doing these. The next one is Ho'oponopono, which is a Hawaiian spiritual practice. And of course, constant forgiveness keeps you in happiness. And that means constant. If somebody upsets you, you forgive it on the spot. You don't hold on to resentments. You don't hold on to judgments. You're constantly letting go and forgiving. Then we recommend you read the Course in Miracles daily, which is what we do, and we record it so you can join us to have a deeper understanding. The next one is allow yourself to have a holy relationship. See, a holy relationship brings you a lot of joy, and everyone deserves that. And there's, tons of potential partners for you out there. So you never want to say, I can't find anybody. And if you're looking for someone and you can't find them, you can ask for our help to clear any blocks you have to a holy relationship. And that's where each person, it feels complete, and they join with another who feels complete, and they come together and share the light with the world. The next one is really important. Babaji said, work is worship. Now, if you see your work as a form of worship, you're going to be happy. If you think, oh no, I have to go to work another 8 hours, and you dread it, you're never going to be happy. So either you have to change your attitude about the job and see that it's worship, whatever you're doing, or you should get a new job that you love. So always do what you love. That's one of the basic secrets of happiness. Always do what you love and enjoy it. Otherwise, you shouldn't be doing it. So getting that work is worship changed me completely and made me a lot happier. Well, anyway, Babaji's formula for happiness is love, truth, simplicity, and service to mankind. Okay? And then he gave us the mantra and the breathing to clear ourselves. So it's a wonderful formula: love, truth, simplicity, and service to mankind. And I was talking with Marcus the other day about some clients we had that are kind of lazy, and we were trying to figure out how we could help them get over this. And he pointed out, you can't really evolve unless you're doing service. And I thought, wow, that's quite a statement. And that's really true. You can't really evolve unless you're doing a service. Okay, the next one is give up all your negative thoughts constantly and make it a spiritual practice to observe your thoughts and constantly raise the quality of your thoughts to higher and higher thoughts, which means you observe your mind all the time. And if you catch yourself with a negative thought, you immediately drop it and go to the opposite, which would be an affirmation that would be the opposite. And this is a spiritual practice that really makes you happy. And you can't really be happy when you're indulging in negative thoughts, or especially if you're indulging in catastrophic thoughts, which some people do. You'll never be happy. Okay, number 10 is nurture all your friendships. And, to nurture your friendships means you communicate well with these people and acknowledge them and love them and give to them. Okay, the next one I have is go to India to the Divine Mother Festival. I mean, this particular Divine Mother Festival is just incredible to be in Harikan Babaji's ashram, which is one of the holiest places on earth. And we're going now next April. We had one sign up already today. So think about it. It will change your life completely. And the closer you get to Babaji, the happier you're going to get. The closer you get to God, the happier you're going to get. It's that simple. Then next one I have down, read only enlightened books. Now that means you should read books where the author understands thought is creative. Don't even bother reading books where the author doesn't understand thought is creative. You'll just get confused by the book. So reading books that get you high, that are spiritual books, metaphysical books, that is a nice thing that gives you happiness. And of course, we recommend you take the LRT if you haven't done that, the Loving Relationships Training, which contains decades of information, how to have a happy relationship. Then you have to work out what Leonard called the 5 biggies. He said, these are the things that prevent you from being in bliss. And it takes a while, years to work these out. So you got to get started if you haven't done it. The first one is your birth trauma, all the issues that happen in your conception, pregnancy, delivery, and postpartum. That's your birth script. And the next one is specific negative thought structures, which would include your personal lie. You have to know what your personal lie is, and you have to keep working it out to be happy, because the personal lie kills your happiness. Any judgment you have about yourself like that will kill your happiness. Then the third was parental disapproval syndrome. You have to forgive all of the disapproval that you had and give up your addiction to disapproval. Then the next one is the biggie, unconscious death urge. Some of you mentioned that. That takes years to process. All your programming on death. And then the fifth one is other lifetimes. So Leonard said those are the 5 biggies that keep you from being in bliss. And I'm very grateful to him for that, because the minute I saw those things on the board, I knew that my problems were somehow stuck in those 5 biggies. Then the next one I have, dear, you have to consciously give up fear, guilt, and anger. Okay? Now, I haven't had much anger in my whole life in this incarnation. And I didn't think I had a lot of guilt, and I didn't think I had a lot of fear, because I wasn't walking around feeling guilty, and I wasn't walking around feeling afraid. But what happened was, when we had this death in the family, somehow this fear came up for me that was suppressed, and somehow this guilt came up for me that was suppressed. And so I've really been working on that, and I see you can't be happy while you keep this guilt in your subconscious. Can't be happy while you do that. You've got to get over your guilt that is suppressed. So you need a truth process to find out what the guilt is that you suppress. But usually it's religious guilt, past life guilt is common. I've had a lot of that recently coming out. And then religious guilt, because they told you you're a sinner. And maybe they didn't tell you in this life, but you got to go back 5 lifetimes clearing your religious dogma. Probably in some lifetime, in the last 5 lifetimes, you were told you were a sinner and you were born a sinner. Okay, so then there's birth trauma guilt for hurting your mother, and guilt of maybe something in your past. All these guilts add up. And you need to become aware of what the guilt is you're still stuck on. And the guilt is going to cause sickness in the body and tension and pain. So I would say to be happy, you really have to give up guilt, and you need to work on that. The next one I have is disconnect from the family mind. Marcus was talking about that earlier. But the family mind is all the thoughts of your parents and, your grandparents and their belief systems and their programming and how that's affecting you. And the problem is we are loyal. We think we're supposed to be loyal to the family. So unfortunately, we're loyal to the family mind, which is pretty negative. If your parents were always positive, then you're very lucky. But most people had parents who were negative. So the family mind is something you're stuck on. And you have to make it okay to break from the family mind. It doesn't mean you're being disloyal. You'll think it's disloyalty to break from the family mind, but you don't want to be loyal to something that doesn't work. So you can be loyal to loving them anyway, but you don't want to be loyal to their thoughts, their beliefs. So this again means you have to forgive the past. If you haven't done that, you have to forgive your past, all your past lives, forgive your past, forgive the past of how you grew up. And it's been said you're going to be 10 times happier if you forgive your parents completely. I believe that. I believe if you don't forgive your parents, you'll never be happy. All right. So again, what I do to stay happy is if I'm not happy, I write to my guru. I write to Babaji or Jesus or Divine Mother and talk to them about what's going on with me, and I lay it at their feet. I recommend you keep a gratitude journal. I'm doing that. It really helps. If you're the least bit depressed, you need to sit down and do a gratitude journal. It should be something you do every week, several times. Some people do it daily. I'm trying to do it every couple of times a week now. And you, on the left side, you list what you're grateful for now. And on the right side, you list what you're grateful for in the future, what you want, as if you already have it. So I'm so happy and grateful I now have whatever it is you want in the future. And that's a way of manifesting. When you're manifesting with gratitude like that, it really manifests with more power and more quickly. I'm so grateful I now have the healing that I want. I'm so grateful I now have the relationship that I want. So again, you need to learn to heal yourself of any condition. We have a new training called Revolutionary Spiritual Healing, and we're working on it right now. Marcus is working on the book we're writing on that. So that makes you happy when you know you're not going to be stuck with any negative condition. I would say one of the most important things is to have a meaningful mission. You have to understand what your mission in life is. And, you can write this affirmation. I'm willing for the divine, what is it, Marcus? I'm willing for the divine plan in my life to manifest. That's the one. So having a meaningful mission is one of the things that really keeps you happy. Of course, it helps to stay in present time. If you're in the past, you're going to be upset. And if you're in the future, you're going to be worried. So it helps to stay in present time. Again, it's good to help others. Find someone who needs help and go help them. When you're spreading joy, you're going to have more joy. When you're spreading happiness, you're going to have more happiness. And again, you have to allow yourself to be loved. So find someone to love and allow them to love you back. That's going to make you happy. So I would say the main thing is, besides humor and playfulness, everybody knows that would help. Make your spiritual life your top priority. That's the key to happiness, in my opinion. Dedicate your whole life to service to God. If you do that, you're going to be happy. Okay, so the last thing I want to talk about is how to become a blessing. And that will make you happy. Joy, like love, increases when you give it away. Give a radiance of a blessing to people. When you walk down the street and you pass people, you can actually send them a blessing. And if you try this, you'll be surprised how much happier you'll get. So a blessing is like a natural expression of the feeling of love from our inner spirit. And it's affirmation of our connectedness to the other person. Every time you create safety for someone and reassurance where they could have had fear, you're giving a blessing. You can actually have people change their thoughts on the spot. For example, you should start creating heaven wherever you go. So if you're out having a dinner and people are suddenly going down in their levels of thought and they're getting negative, you change the whole mood by offering a higher thought and moving on. You don't let them indulge in all this negativity. You say, okay, I'm going to offer you this other thought. And you can create heaven wherever you go by helping people raise the quality of their thoughts. A blessing is a force of love that passes between people. It's a transfer of spiritual power. So when you're blessing someone, you're actually giving your spiritual power to them, and this empowers them and transforms them and restores them to wholeness. So practice being a blessing if you want to be happy. It's not something you do to someone. It's like you become a blessing for them. You become a blessing with them. So those are my notes so far. I'm sure there's other things that I've left out, but I just wanted to say that those things are a good start, keep you in bliss, and mantra breathing will help you be in bliss. So you can start breathing a little deeper now. And we're going to put the mantra on and let the mantra heal you. And you just say, okay, the mantra is like alive. It is alive. It's an energy of God. So you can ask the mantra to please penetrate you, to heal you of something, and ask the mantra to take whatever you want to take away today. You say to the mantra itself, which is Babaji. These mantras are all to Babaji and God. Okay, I want this mantra to take away X. That's what I'm breathing out today. And you imagine that going out on the exhale. For you new people, the idea is to inhale love, exhale fear, inhale life, exhale death, inhale the good, exhale the negative. So I hope you new people will enjoy it. If you like, I think you could start with nasal breathing if it's your first time. In and out through the nose with no pause at the top and no pause at the bottom, like Marcus said. I would start, if you're new, in and out through the nose. The rest of you, let's start in and out through your mouth. And let's really go for it. And right now you look and see what is the biggest block you have to being in constant happiness. The thing that prevents me from staying in the main thing that prevents me from staying in constant happiness is, listen for the answer. The main thing right now that's preventing me from staying in constant happiness is probably a fear or a guilt or a negative thought. Whatever it is, let's start breathing it out. Okay. Thank you, guys.
All right. So we'll see you next week. Same time, same channel. And God bless you all. Thank you for coming, and may your intentions be manifested. Thank you.